Hello everyone, this is part 8 of What If Naruto Has the Golden Eyes, and I hope you guys enjoy this video and to like, to subscribe, to share, and check out the playlist, to see more comment down below. Now let's start the intro.
They call me a god. They call me a god. They call me a god.
Itachi was making his way back to Konoha after his meeting with Naruto. Itachi's mind was in deep thought as he tried to figure out how Naruto could have survived a full blast from the Amaterasu. How could anybody, even of Naruto's status, survive a direct hit from the Amaterasu? It's simply impossible, is it? Itachi thought as he entered the village unseen. As Itachi jumped from rooftop to rooftop, he contemplated where he should tell his younger brother about Naruto. Revealing Naruto's secrets to his younger brother had both its bright and dark sides. It is true that Sasuke held Naruto in high regard for what he did and would likely keep it a secret, but on the other hand, Sasuke is the Hokage and he is forced to keep no secrets like the other Kages before him. So, finally coming to the conclusion that Itachi would keep Naruto's well-being a secret for now, he entered the office of his little brother. Mission report, Sasuke stated with authority in his voice. But there was another thing that Itachi had to tell his brother about that needed to be told. It was a matter of life or death. There was no traces of any UFO that crashed in the mountains in Iwa, but simply a meteor, Itachi said emotionlessly. Sasuke grinned victoriously. I knew it, just a simple meteor. There was no way it could have been anything different, Sasuke said in a relieved expression. Over the time when Itachi left to search for the crash site, people throughout Iwa, Kuso, and Taki were getting even more relied up about the bright light to the point where Anbu were called to the site to calm them all down. Even some people here in Leaf are starting lose their minds. Most people began to start up rumors that aliens have been probing this planet ever since the Great War started and that the Sound's old leader made a deal with these aliens that if he ever lost the war that they would come soon afterwards and kill them all. But, this was only one rumor, but at least half of them have at least some correlation with the Great War. Wait, there is more, Itachi said, successfully breaking Sasuke out of his musings. And what else could there be? Sasuke asked curiously. I met up with one of my contacts in my spy network for information and a couple of Iwa Anbu tagged along. Needless to say, my contact killed the 3 Iwa Anbu that were with me, Itachi said as he looked straight into his little brother's eyes through his mask. That is not a problem, I'm sure you put this problem to rest then. Sasuke said with a grin. Itachi and himself are believed to be the strongest ninja in the world. Both equal in strength, they are believed that if both combined their power they could match Naruto's power. The story that everyone heard involving Naruto's defeat was that Sasuke and the rookies from Leaf managed to outwit Naruto in the end and win by a lucky break. The image that spiraled around the world that even though it was 11-on-1 that Naruto still overpowered them, but when Itachi showed up and was brought to his senses that the no 12-on-1 fight turned to the numbering side. And so people used this as an example that even though you are the most powerful person in the world that combined with your friends that you can prevail. No, this contact had too much valuable information to give up. The information that he traded though was very much worthwhile, Itachi said with a grin. And this information being what? Sasuke pressed. He says that there is going to be a war that has never been seen before on this planet. He says to start training more ninja and fast and to spread the word to the other commanders in the other countries, Itachi said gravely. Sasuke looked at Itachi and blinked. Sasuke then began to laugh, thinking that this was a joke of some sort. Oh Itachi, you always knew how to crack me up, Sasuke said between laughs with a big smile on his face while Itachi never faltered. I'm serious about this Hokage-sama, Itachi said in a serious voice. Sasuke immediately became serious when Itachi called him Hokage-sama. Itachi never said that if he wasn't deadly serious. Are you positive that this war is going to happen? Sasuke asked. Sasuke puts Itachi in one of spots that he can completely trust. The only other person to make it up to that level was right before Naruto was killed on the roof of the Otokage Tower. Yes, it about a month or two, Itachi said. Sasuke sighed. This has never happened before. He was going to have to ask the Godami how to manage a country while at war. I guess I could push a little harder at the passing of the rebuilding of our ninja forces. I'm sure there are still some ninja out there that would love to become a ninja of our village again, Sasuke thought out loud as he turned in his seat to look at the 6 faces carved into the mountain at the top of the village. His being the one right next to the 5th. So tell me, why you are putting so much confidence in this one contact? You have never shown this much devotion before the end of the Great War, Sasuke asked while returning his gaze once again to his older brother, but only to find that said older brother was gone. Shit. Oh well, it can't be helped, Sasuke said as he shook his head and returned to his paperwork. He's getting worse than Kakashi. XXXXX. Naruto was swiftly moving from tree limb to tree limb, making sure that he is not heard by anyone or anything in the dark of the night with the bright moon shining overhead. He was in leaf territory, was going to be damned if was going to be spotted, but being out on the road was hard and he needed some sleep and food. Naruto changed course to what he knew was the city of Anzide, a medium-sized town near the border of the Leaf and Sound. I need some sleep and food. Charging blindly towards my destination is a bad decision, Naruto thought as he was almost at the town's borders when Naruto came to a halt. To the right of the path that he was on was the area where he observed the battle between the 3 Sennin fought across the open fields. That was truly a battle of wits, but Naruto couldn't help but feel sympathy for the Snake Sennin. He was in my position while I was at war with the world. It was a 2-on-1 fight and Orochimaru was still fighting. I'll give him credit for that, at the very least, Naruto thought as he continued on his way into the town. The large tower at the center of the town was being rebuilt after the attack Orochimaru did on the enormous tower. Naruto was in the center of the town in an empty street with his pure white cloak on as well as his gas mask and straw hat. He was not taking any chances for him being seen by anyone at all. Naruto saw a ramen stand on the side of the street and shrugged. He hasn't had any ramen in years, why not give it a try? Naruto walked into the ramen stand and casually sat down in a seat next the wall and ordered a bowl of miso. While waiting for his food to arrive, Naruto took off his gas mask and sealed it away without anyone noticing the ceiling. Naruto was about to be hit with a wave of disappointment and bad luck because a few leaf ninja walked up the stand, sat in the center of the stand while talking away about their lives. Naruto glanced at the 3 ninja that sat down and his eyes widened for a brief second until turning back to their original size. Sitting in the stand with him was Shikamaru, Neji, and Kiba. Naruto cursed himself and was thinking about leaving when his food was placed in front of him. Naruto sighed. Why does he always get himself into these predicaments? Naruto began eating his food rather alertly and without taking off his hat. This made it seem that he was rude everyone at the stand and the owner, but taking off his hat was not an option. Naruto was close to finishing his food when a voice he hadn't heard in a while made itself known to the white cloak wearing man in the corner. Hey, don't you think it is rude for wear that hat at the counter? Kiba asked. The other 2 ninja were looking at Naruto rather calmly, thinking he would take off the offending hat as well as the chef that was watching the scene as well. Naruto never looked at Kiba as he slurped the rest of his food down and stood up to leave. Hey, I'm talking to you, Kiba shouted angrily. Naruto continued to ignore him as he placed some money on the counter to pay for the food and for a hefty tip, which the chef gladly accepted. Naruto turned away from the stand and began to walk down the empty moonlit street. They must have had a mission in this town and decided to get a bite to eat. Damn it, this is just my luck. I can't talk or they will know who I am. I need to get somewhere and put my gas mask on so I can conceal my voice and face, Naruto thought as he could sense the 3 ninja fooling him. Naruto suddenly stopped, making the 3 ninja following stop as well. You know, wearing that cloak and hat of yours reminds many people of the organization that attacked the world, Kiba said with a grin. Naruto simply turned to face the 3 ninja. Why are you wearing a cloak and hat that makes you look so much like the Akatsuki or Yoinokuchi? Neji asked. Naruto said nothing in return. This could be one of the surviving members that lived after the defeat of Sound. Were you a member of Yoinokuchi or Akatsuki? Shikamaru asked. Naruto thought on that question. He could answer no and they would continue on with questions, or he could answer yes and make his presence known to the world and this would have its benefits. So, Naruto nodded, shocking the 3 joinin in front of him. Which one? Akatsuki or Yoinokuchi? Shikamaru asked a little too urgently. The reason behind the question is that it shows a sort of rank. If you're a missing ninja, then you are low on the food chain, but still pretty strong. They're ranking between D to B. If you were once a part of Akatsuki before the war, then you range from B to S class, and if you were a part of Yoinokuchi, then you rank up into S to SS cage level, and in Naruto's case, SSS. Naruto steadily motioned that he was in the later of the organizations by showing him the peace sign, which meant the number 2. The 3 ninja were shocked. There were only a few Yoinokuchi members left in the world, most going into hiding because of the severe dislike towards them. The remaining members that lived after the bloodiest battle in the entire world were Zabuza, Haku, Kisame, Gaara and Itachi. Gaara, SS rank, being captured during his invasion on Suna, has calmed down after hearing the defeat and death of Naruto and became the Kazekage of their country. Gaara was the only one who has been forgiven for his wrongdoings while in the Yoinokuchi. Zabuza, S rank, was killed while fighting alongside Haku while on the island of Wave. A group of hunter ninja from Kiri and Konoha followed them until they were in a secluded area and attacked while the guard was down. The battle that ensued was a bloody one. 13 hunter ninja were killed as well as Zabuza. Haku narrowly escaped. Haku, S rank, has stayed hidden and was last reported somewhere in Spring Country. Haku is thought to be training immensely to be stronger, so killing the missing ninja was going to be very tough. Kisame, SS rank, is also said to be hiding alongside Haku. For the same reasons Haku, Kisame wants to be able to defend himself against anything the ninja countries throw at him. They are supposed to be the best team on this earth other than Itachi and Sasuke Uchiha. The pair is close to being stronger than the 2 Uchihas. Itachi, SS rank, has resigned from the organization and became the Anbu captain of Konoha. Itachi is one of the strongest ninja in the world. Itachi is the last one of the Uchiha clan that can use the Mangekyo Sharingan. Itachi has pronounced to the world that he would not hunt down any Akatsuki and Yoinokuchi members due to his old ties with the organizations. Sasuke, of course, knows the truth behind the Uchiha massacre. The remnants of Akatsuki are also scattered throughout the world. Madara, SS rank, and about 2 to 3 others are still allied with the remnants of the organization known as Yoinokuchi, minus Gaara. Both Yoinokuchi and Akatsuki members had a kill-on-sight order on their heads. But, at the same time, they also had a retreat-on-sight order if you had less than 3 members against an Akatsuki member and less than 5 against a Yoinokuchi member. So, thinking that this one might be Haku because the man doesn't have a huge sword on his back, they moved into fighting position, but there was a problem. Why was this Yoinokuchi wear a pure white cloak where the other members wore a white cloak with black clouds? Sure, this man's cloak had a black interior like the others, but there was no black clouds. Where are the traditional black clouds? This can't be Haku because Haku would wear the cloak proudly. No, this be another member that must have missed in our report, Shikamaru thought as he told the others about his theory. Are you sure? There are only like 4 of them left. This one has to be Haku. Kiba exclaimed. Neji nodded to what Shikamaru was saying. I see what you mean. This person could be someone that we never saw or fought. He could be one that was told to stay in the background until after the war, Neji suggested. Shikamaru was still looking at the motionless form of the Yoinokuchi member in front of him. We might want to retreat, Shikamaru said, shocking Kiba. What? We aren't going to let this one retreat. The Anbu are in the middle of a massive search for them. Killing this one would prove worthwhile. Kiba shouted a little too loudly. Kiba has a point there. If we let this man go, then we might not see him for another couple years and then he will just stronger than he is now, Neji added. Shikamaru sighed. But what about the retreat on sight order that was given by Sasuke? Shikamaru asked. Puff, I have the strength of at least 2 men and you have the brain power of at least 3, while Neji has the eyes of 2 as well. Together we can beat him. Kiba exclaimed again a little loudly. Troublesome. Fine, let's fight, but if we lose, Shikamaru started but was interrupted when they saw the Yoinokuchi turn the corner down an alley. After him. Kiba shouted and ran after the cloaked man. Once they rounded the corner, they saw him once more rounding another corner. The 3 jumped around the corner to see a dead end. The 3 looked everywhere until Neji saw the man standing on top of the building looking at them with an emotionless stare that was concealed by the darkness that his straw hat made. The man walked from view of the 3 ninja that were on the ground in the alley. He's on the roof. Neji said as the leaf ninja ran up the side of the wall and onto the roofs to see the man jumping from roof to roof, away from them. Damn, he's fast, Shikamaru thought as they chased the lone Yoinokuchi member. The leaf jonin chased after the man until they were in the center of a large field on the outskirts of town. The cloaked man was facing the three ninja once they entered the field. Neji immediately turned on his dojutsu, noticed something weird. Where was his chakra? It simply wasn't there. After telling the others, Kiba was shocked while Shikamaru only nodded. Other Hyuga that fought against the Yoinokuchi were having the same problem. It seems that Naruto came up with a style that renders your dojutsu worthless until we can hit him at least once with a chakra-infused strike, Shikamaru explained. Neji only growled in annoyance. Hitting a Yoinokuchi member was going to be hard enough, but winning was going to be even harder. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to be fighting probably 3 of the strongest of the old rookies. Time for a test run, Naruto thought with a grin. The 3 ninjas stood across from lone Yoinkuchi member for what seemed like hours. Neither side willing to make the first move until a certain hothead attacked. Ah, I can't stand it. You are going down. Kiba shouted and charged. The 2 remaining leaf ninja sighed while Naruto grinned. As to be expected, Naruto thought as he stood in his relaxed position. Not even putting up a fighting stance will cost you your life. Kiba shouted as he suddenly disappeared. One of Naruto's eyebrows rose while he activated his normal Sharingan. So they gotten better, but by how much? Naruto thought as he ducked from a slash, courteous of Kiba. Naruto then backed up from a kick from his front. Naruto then saw Neji charging towards him and then also disappearing. Shikamaru was standing in the same place as before. Shikamaru is observing so they can formulate a plan against me by utilizing against my weakness. Tell me, Shikamaru, have you changed at all? Have become more powerful instead of your clan's techniques? Naruto thought as he dodged another chakra-piercing attack from Neji's attack. Suddenly, the 2 ninja jumped back to where Shikamaru was still standing. So, what's the plan? Kiba asked. Shikamaru continued to stare at the cloaked ninja who was once again in his relaxed position. Shikamaru sighed and shook his head in disappointment. This guy is unbelievable. I can't form a strategy if doesn't show ant style at all. What you just saw was him simply dodging each attack lazily, Shikamaru said. Kiba was shocked while Neji only nodded. They were of course only testing his abilities. That was not their true speed as Kiba could almost match Sasuke's speed. Time for plan B, Shikamaru said before performing his clan's technique. A shadow shot out towards the cloaked man. So, that is all you have done. All you have been doing is advancing your skills in reading other people's moves. I'm disappointed, Shikamaru, Naruto thought as he jumped to the side, but only for a hand to extend from the shadow and into the air. The shadow hand quickly wrapped around Naruto's leg and extended to his neck, successfully holding him there. Interesting new development, Shikamaru, but what else have you learned? Naruto thought as Kiba and Neji slowly walked toward Naruto. Why is it so easy for me to hold him? I should be straining to hold him down. He must up to something, Shikamaru thought as Kiba and Neji slowly made their way to the trapped man. Now, it's time to find out who this man really is, Kiba said as grabbed a hold of his hat yanked it off. The 3-leaf ninja gasped at what they saw. XXXXX. What is with Itachi? Normally he is stoic and emotionless, but lately has been a little more happy. That is nothing like Itachi. I'm going to find out what he is up to, Sasuke thought as Itachi entered his office. Even now Sasuke hates being left out of the inner circle. Yes, Itachi. You wanted to speak to me? Sasuke asked. I would like a mission, Hokage-sama, Itachi said while bowing. Sasuke sighed. You don't have to bow, Itachi. And why do you want a mission? I thought you were going to take a break for a little, Sasuke asked suspiciously. Itachi never flinched. I need to see a contact that is of great importance, Itachi said simply. Is it that same contact that told you of this war? Sasuke asked. Itachi nodded in the affirmative. What is so special about this man? Why do have so much trust in him? Or better yet, who is he? Sasuke asked. Itachi only shook his head. You know I can't do that. Revealing his name could be fatal, Itachi explained. Sasuke sighed. He wasn't going to get anything out of him. Fine, I'll give you the mission, but you are going to have to tell who this contact of yours is, Sasuke said. Itachi turned to leave, but before leaving Itachi had to say one last thing that will tear him apart until he figures it out. Well, I can't promise you that I will tell you, but if you're lucky then you might see him for yourself, Itachi said with a grin. Before Sasuke could answer, Itachi puffed into a cloud of smoke. A shadow clone. Damn it, Itachi, you knew I would say yes to the mission and already left, meaning I can't get someone to follow him, Sasuke thought. Sasuke sighed, I'm going to have to meet up with the guys and get a drink after work today. XXXXX. Wah, what is that? Neji stuttered out in pure shock. On the face of the man they were fighting was a weird kind of mask, never before seen to this world. All three-leaf ninjas stood stock still as they looked into the empty eyes that the mask provided. You seem surprised. You have never seen a gas mask before? Naruto asked in the masked voice that the gas mask provided. The three-leaf ninja didn't answer as they were still surprised at what they found under the straw hat. Naruto suddenly pushed out of every point of his body, shattering the hand that was curled around his body. Naruto pressed his luck by swiping back his hat and putting back upon his head. They must not have noticed my hair because of the tinting color the moon was giving off along with the surprise of the mask that they saw, Naruto thought as the three ninjas seemed to snap out of their musings and took the offensive. But this time, Naruto was going to fight seriously. He is still the same weakling as before. We will capture him easily and then finish him off, Kiba with a smug grin as he disappeared faster than before, only reappear behind the gas mask wearing man. Kiba kicked Naruto forward towards Neji who sent a flurry of chakra-infused strikes at the white-cloaked man. The Yonkuchi member blocked each and every attack that was sent his way before a familiar shadow was head towards him from his right. Naruto swiftly grabbed one of Neji's hands and pulled him in front of the impending shadow hand. The shadow quickly fused with Neji's and Neji went stock still. Naruto delivered a hard punch to Neji's gut then kneed him again in the face. Both Neji and Shikamaru crumpled over in pain. Neji passing out while Shikamaru held onto conscious by a sliver. You bastard. You won't be able to beat me though. I'm just as fast as Sasuke. Kiba shouted, but stopped when the cloaked man asked a question. Where is your dog? Naruto asked. Kiba stopped dead in his tracks. You don't know. I thought you knew everything that happens in your organization. Kiba voiced. I've been out of touch with them lately. So, where is Akamaru? Naruto asked emotionlessly. How do you know my dog's name? Kiba pressed. I know a lot of things, Naruto returned coldly. If I don't tell him he might figure it out later by the others in his group, but since he won't be able to get to them after I'm done with him, he might as well know because he is going to die here and now, Kiba thought. He died at the hands of the one known as Zabuza, Kiba said in a little sad voice. Naruto nodded. I take it you killed him. Well, at least took out as many good ninja before dying, Naruto said emotionlessly. This angered Kiba very much. I'll kill you. You won't even see me coming. Kiba shouted as he charged Naruto straight on at impressive speeds. Faster than a lot of people I've found, but Yoda moves faster than you, Naruto thought as Kiba was building a lot of momentum into this punch that was coming at him. Just before the punch connected with Naruto's face, Naruto moved his left arm to the right side of Kiba's left arm. Naruto then pushed Kiba's arm further than Naruto's left until the punch narrowly missed his head. This left the right flank completely open with Naruto's right unoccupied. Naruto then kicked Kiba's legs out from underneath him, making him fall counterclockwise. Naruto then grabbed the side of Kiba's head and rammed Kiba's head into the ground faster than a bullet. Naruto stood towering over Kiba's unconscious form with nothing other than emotionless eyes. I never even had to pull out my Mangekyo Sharingan or my Renegan. Such a shame, Naruto said as he turned to leave. Wait, a voice said weakly. Naruto stopped and turned to see Shikamaru looking at him intently. Naruto then began to walk towards the downed figure of Shikamaru. Who are you? Nobody knows who you are, Shikamaru asked as Naruto stopped in front of Shikamaru. I guess it's going to be one of those things that is going to be on the top of your head until you figure it out now, isn't it? Naruto said emotionlessly before pinching a nerve behind Shikamaru's neck, effectively rendering him unconscious. Naruto stood back up and began to walk towards the closest town that wasn't Anzide. Mission complete, Naruto thought with a grin as he disappeared into the grassland that was between him and the next town. XXXXX 1 week after the bright light. Where the fuck is he? Cash asked out loud to the spec troopers that were building their base of operations on what seemed to be a cave in the side of the mountain. They were ordered to land on a group of islands out in the middle of the sea. The formation of the islands was simple. There was a large island with a steeping volcano in the center with dense jungle surrounding the towering volcano. 4 smaller islands surrounded the monstrous one in the middle, taking the form of an X with the islands taking the points while the volcano was in the center. They were currently fortifying all 5 of the islands so they could fend off any attacks that were centered at their new HQ. Naruto emphasized on anti-air than any other while still leaving some of his resources on the offshoot of the droids attacking by the sea. I see Naruto holds immense information on the terrain of this planet, Cash thought. What? Are you worried that Naruto can't hold his own against whatever is on this planet? Asked one of the spec troopers. No, what I'm worried about was the crash. His small fighter couldn't hold against dense atmosphere of this planet, and did you see that bright light that illuminated the skies? That probably alerted all kinds of suspicion that we don't need, Cash explained. The spec trooper nodded in understanding while leaning against his sniper rifle that was planted on the ground. So, what have I missed? A familiar voice asked from behind them. The spec trooper was smiling while Cash turned to see Naruto walking out from the forest. Most of the spec take off the gas masks when they are out of sight of the enemy, but leave their helmets on for general purposes. Cash soon followed the spec's lead and smiled as well. Glad to see you back, General, Cash said. Nothing much, General, just setting up the defenses for anything that comes at us, the spec sniper answered as he looked out over the building area. Naruto nodded. How did you get here? We're in the middle of the sea. Cash asked. Sorry, that's my little secret, Naruto said as he took off his hat and gas mask and sealed them away. Damn it, what is with you and keeping secrets? Cash started, but stopped when Naruto shook his head and walked away. Maybe you shouldn't ask about those secrets. You might get on his good side then, the spec sniper suggested. And what do you know? Cash growled out. The sniper shrugged. I see why Naruto avoids you outside of his training, the sniper said and walked off. Cash was shocked. Nobody has ever said that to her before. Maybe I should be less of a hothead, Cash thought and walked towards some spec troops that seemed like they could use an extra hand. XXXXX. So what's the plan, General? A spec trooper asked while they sat around a table in a makeshift tent. First objective is to set up the HQ here. Second is to make a name for myself. Whether it be by fear and terror or by heroic stature. Either way, we are going to be known by everyone, Naruto said to the group of 5 that was seated around the table. What about the natives? Are they going to be ready for this attack? I don't know. I have spread word about an imminent attack by a strong foe, and I'm sure that they will respond by a mass buildup of troops. Everyone knows that peace can't last forever, Naruto said. When will you be back? When you see the droid army on radar. Once then you will calculate where they will land and we will set up defenses around their landing zone. Take these scrolls and teach all of the men on how the natives move so we can work together with them, Naruto said while handing out scrolls. The 5 spec troopers' eyes widened. How do you expect us to keep up with these guys if they move this fast? Use the modifications in your helmets that help you detect speeder bikes. That should work. The 5 spec leaders stood up from their position and saluted. Each spec trooper was in position of one of the 5 islands. Holding these islands was imperative to the success of this mission. Good luck, men. I hope to see you soon, Naruto said as he turned around and left. As Naruto was walking down a path to the beach until there was a familiar figure blocking his path. What do you need, Cash? Naruto asked in confusion. I'm sorry for the way I acted when you first showed up. You don't need to tell me everything about yourself. I was just too over-curious, Cash stuttered out. Strange, she never acts like this, Naruto thought as he used his extreme speed to pop up in front of her. Don't worry, Cash-chan, you are the closest one to learning my secrets, Naruto said with a grin as his breath made Cash's breath shiver. Over the years of doing missions for different people, Naruto was forced to learn the art of seduction and teasing as to get his objectives. Doing this on Cash was a first and Naruto was interested in the outcome. Oh, okay then. Sorry, Cash stammered out before running back to camp. Naruto watched her run back to camp with the massive blush on her face and, with Naruto's extreme sensitive sense of smell, could smell the lust coming off of her. Naruto grinned. Well, that was fun, Naruto said with an enormous grin on his face as he disappeared from view. Sorry Cash, but I don't make any tight bonds. XXXXX. What do you mean there was an unknown member of Yoinokuchi this entire time? Madara shouted to Zetsu. Zetsu only nodded at what he has just told one of the last Sharingan uses in the world. I witnessed a battle between 3 of the Rookie 9 and an unknown Yoinokuchi member, the light side said. It's true. We were doing what you asked and observing any battles that involved the rookies and witnessed an unknown member of the famed Yoinokuchi organization, the dark said. He was strong too, the lighter side said. How strong? We have been observing the movements of all the nations and from the information you have given us, the Rookie 9 is one of the strongest groups in the world. Madara shouted again. He definitely was getting angry at this new Yoinokuchi member because before Akatsuki agreed to help Naruto's cause, both sides would give a list of each side's members. With this new revelation of an unknown member that was able to take out 3 of the Rookie 9 without any effort pushed Madara's limits in Naruto's loyalty towards his comrades. The man never used any jutsu or battle styles. He simply dodged the attacks lazily like they were nothing he hasn't seen before. He never talked until he had this weird mask on that masked his voice, the lighter side of Zetsu said while still recollecting his thoughts. Anything else? Madara asked. Yes, one of the most chilling things was that he knew I was there the entire time, the darker side of Zetsu said, a little fear in his voice. Nobody has ever sensed Zetsu before because that was what he specialized in. Madara quirked an eyebrow from underneath his mask. So let's put all this together. His fighting style is much like Itachi's when he was in the Akatsuki. A lazy stance until forced to use his actual style. Practically knowing all the enemy's attacks before they happen, and last but not least is that he sensed Zetsu. And what of this new mask that I hear about? Zetsu says that it masks his voice, so that is pretty straightforward. He. Fun, Madara thought with a huge grin, scaring the others that were with him. So, what now? Zetsu asked. Continue on with your missions. Other matters to attend to, Madara said before disappearing from the cave that they were in. XXXXX. Dodge. A feminine voice shouted as 3 ice needles shot from one of the several ice mirrors that was scattered across the small clearing in Spring Country. A large man with sword that was wrapped up in cloth quickly jumped out of the way of the attack. Water style, shark bite no jutsu. The larger man shouted while doing the correct hand signs for the impending jutsu. To slow. The feminine voice shouted from behind his white cloak with black clouds stitched across it as said man started seals of his own. Ice style, Sub-Zero. The water jutsu was immediately frozen halfway to the ice jutsu welder before freezing up. Both sides not wanting to make the first move simply stood still while looking each other in the eye, before the ice burst into a magical display of frozen specks in the air. Suddenly the larger man burst into ice as well. Where did he? The smaller thought before there was a sword across his neck. Nice try Haku, but you still can't beat me, the larger man said with a grin on his face. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe next time I'll get you kiss him, Haku returned as the ice specks continued to fall. Suddenly, Haku formed an ice spike in his hands and threw it at the observing white-cloaked man. The new addition to the clearing caught the ice spike just before it struck his face. Who are you, and what do you want with us? Haku asked with malice in his voice. The man never talked as he casually took off his hat to reveal his blonde hair. I'll let you guess, Naruto said with a grin, but the two were very on edge. Many have tried to impersonate him, so cut the act and take off that genjutsu, Kisame said with anger in his voice. Naruto raised an eyebrow. Really? Well, you don't have to believe me, but I warn you, your decision may bring more surprises than you hope, Naruto said emotionlessly as Haku formed 2 ice swords and Kisame unraveling his as well. The 2 disappeared from view to only reappear behind him. They are faster than the 3 rookies, but are still no match for me, Naruto thought as he ducked under a slash from Kisame's chakra-absorbing sword, but only to end up pushing one of Haku's ice swords out of the way by pushing at Haku's wrist. Haku started to stumble backwards from the aggressive push. Naruto seized the opportunity and dashed at the stumbling man. Naruto sent a punch towards Haku, but missed when Haku disappeared into an ice mirror. Kisame quickly swung his enormous sword in a vertical motion in hopes to crush Naruto into the ground, but was again dodged when Naruto jumped to the side. Kisame and Naruto simply stared into each other's eyes for what seemed for the longest time. Kisame was suddenly confused as Naruto burst into black flames. So, you do not believe me. Do you not believe me when I say I am your fallen comrade? I'm shocked, you were with me when we fought in Konoha. You were there to the bitter end when I died, atop the Otokage Tower. You were one of my closest allies and here I stand, fighting my very own people. What has become of this? Naruto said as his voice seemed to come from every angle. You aren't Naruto. Naruto died while fight for the Sound Capital. It is impossible for you to live through all the hurt went through. Kisame yelled as he readied his attack. A laugh engulfed the battlefield. If you only knew, Naruto said in return, leaving a very confused Kisame to prepare for the onslaught. Black fire started to erupt on the bottom of his feet, then another on his right shoulder. What is this? Kai, Kisame said while performing the necessary seal, but nothing happened. Naruto seemed to have appeared in front of him while Kisame was busy with the black flame. Do you not believe me? You know what this is. Believe Kisame, believe. Naruto shouted before Kisame's mind to have rushed back into reality. Kisame's eyes fixed themselves to see Haku standing next to him with a hand on his shoulder and the white-cloaked man standing exactly where he was standing before when they were staring at each other. Naruto's eyes were still as emotionless as before. It seemed this imposter got you into a pretty powerful genjutsu if you weren't able to break out without help, Haku said with a grin. Kisame seemed out of it as he stood up and rubbed his head. What happened? Kisame asked as he continued to rub his head. You two didn't do anything. That's when I figured out you were in a genjutsu because you starting to sweat from just standing there. What happened? Haku asked. Kisame only shook his head. I'll tell you later, Kisame said as he got into battle position. Haku nodded and again drew his two swords. Are they starting to get serious now? I was worried that Kisame was going to go down from one genjutsu. Good thing he has a teammate or this would have been fast, Naruto thought as he sensed two chakra signatures coming towards their position. About time they showed up. Alright, let's do it. Kisame shouted as he charged Naruto straight on. One of Naruto's eyebrows went up. What are they up to? Naruto thought as he continued to dodge Kisame's attacks and was careful to stay out of range of chakra-absorbing sword. This continued to go on until the unexpected happened. Naruto was tripped into one of Haku's ice mirrors. Naruto fell backwards into the mirror to fall into a large room that was very simple. A large box with silver sidings. Up top was the hole that Naruto fell through. Said hole was beginning to close up. Naruto watched as the hole began to close up and trap him in this room. So, let's see if you like it when people play with you. Haku said as ice mirrors began to form around Naruto in the shape of a dome. A figure of Haku was stitched into every one of the mirrors. Special jutsu, demonic ice mirrors. Haku shouted as he started to throw ice needles from all areas of his mirrors. The intensity of the needles has risen from the last time I've seen you do this technique, Haku, but it is still useless, Naruto thought as, behind Naruto's Mangekyo Sharingan, sprung the famed Renegan. The needles smashed into the invisible shield that covered Naruto's entire body. Haku was shocked. How? Nobody can block my attack. Or do the same technique as Naruto-sama. What trickery is this? What have you done? Haku shouted, getting angry at how this imposter was pulling out such a good job at how he was impersonating Naruto. I don't have time for this. I came here to give you two another chance, but this is just getting annoying, Naruto said emotionlessly as the silver world around Tem began to break apart. Haku suddenly appeared behind Naruto with his two ice swords poised to strike at Naruto's neck. Die, imposter! Haku shouted in blind anger, but in the blink of an eye two beams of light, one black the other white, shot out of two metal handles and sliced Haku's ice blades in half, making shining ice specks fly into air, glittering the air in the clearing. Haku's eyes were wide as well as Kisame's at this new invention, but soon as they came they disappeared back into the white cloak of the imposter. What was? Haku started, but was interrupted when a foot connected with his face, making him skid across the ground until coming to a halt on the other side of the clearing. Kisame was behind the cloaked man in an instant, sending a jab towards the man's back. Naruto never moved, but instead prompted to look over his shoulder and into Kisame's eyes. Just as the jab was about to make contact, two swords were smashed down upon the jab in the form of a V. Thus, pinning the chakra-absorbing sword to the ground. The man bearing the tan cloak swirled around and smashed the back of his hand into Kisam's chest, sending tumbling backwards. Nice to see you two again in so long, Naruto said emotionlessly. The two figures both wore cloaks, but with different fashions. One wore the Akatsuki cloak and covered his face with a mask with an orange swirl and a single eye hole, while the other was different. The one with the tan cloak had a hood on the back and the length only went down to his knees while the other went down to his ankles. The tan cloak was much like a poncho of some sort, but made out of material of a heavy jacket. The tan-cloaked man was wearing a leaf-issued Anbu mask. It's nice to see you as well, the Anbu masked man said while taking off his mask to reveal Itachi. I second that notion, Naruto-kun, the Akatsuki member said while taking off his mask as well to reveal Madara. I knew you would figure it out, Madara. So, what kinds of trouble have been cooking up? Naruto asked as he slung an arm around Madara's neck. Naruto was returning to his normal, carefree side that only the two elder Uchihas would be able to see. Madara returned the motion. Toby has been a good boy. Madara said with a grin. How was your out-of-world experience? It was weird, but at the same time fruitful. There is a lot out there that you guys have no idea about, Naruto replied, while Itachi was confused. Wait, how did Madara know about you leaving the planet? Itachi asked. Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. Madara here is the only one who knew about me living after the death on rooftop of the tower, Naruto said with a smile. Itachi was still confused. Why was he the only one in on this? Itachi asked, a little hurt. Naruto sighed. Because if I would have told you, then you wouldn't have along so well with your brother. Sorry for that, Naruto said. Itachi only shook his head. It's no problem. I'm just glad you told me, Itachi said with a smile. So, what are you doing back here? I thought you were never coming back. Madara asked. That was true, but it seems that something is going on that we need to prepare for, Naruto said as he told Madara about the current position that their planet was in as they made a fire and sat around the small makeshift fire. I see. That is a problem, Madara said grimly. Naruto nodded. What is your plan? What are going to do until then? Itachi asked. I'm going to have to become famous, whether it be by fear or honor. I need to make a name for myself so when the time comes when the droids attack, a powerful ninja will fight against the oppressive separatist, Naruto said. Good plan. If it helps, you may tell them that the Akatsuki has your back the entire way, Madara said with a grin. Naruto nodded. I'll keep that in mind, but I think I have a plan on how to get my name out there, Naruto said. And how is that? Itachi asked. Tell them that Naruto Uzumaki is back, Naruto said with a grin. What? Itachi shouted. Not a bad plan. It would sure to spread quickly. People of this planet will believe anything, Madara said. That's what I was thinking, Naruto said. This might be a problem, Itachi said. And why is it a problem? Naruto asked. You know that Sasuke will want a rematch with you, and if you lose then your reputation will be ruined, Itachi said. I know, but I'm going to have win. Your brother has grown strong over the years, correct? Naruto asked. Yes. He rivals your power when you died, Itachi said. He has grown powerful, but so have I, Naruto said with a grin. Suddenly there was an ice needle across his neck. Good morning, princess. Glad to see that you're up, Madara said emotionlessly. Madara's mask was on before the two sleeping ninja could see his face. Now Haku. Do you think that is wise of you to threaten a group of ninja that all have the advanced stages of the Sharingan? Naruto said. Haku sighed as the needle melted from his hand. Haku sat down next to Naruto while Kisame sat next to Itachi. I see that you finally believe me then. That's good, I was about to give up on you guys, Naruto said emotionlessly. I believed you when you blocked all my needles and broke out of my genjutsu. I just refused to believe that you were alive, Halu said sadly as tears began to fall down his face as his body was yearning to do one thing. Go ahead, Naruto said with a smile. Haku tackled Naruto off the log they were sitting on and onto the ground. Haku began to cry into Naruto's pure white scarf that has been below his face this entire time. I thought you were dead. Haku sobbed out as tear continued to drench Naruto's scarf. Naruto simply hugged Haku back as he continued to cry. Itachi only smiled at the scene in front of them. He did the same thing when he first saw Naruto. Naruto and Haku obviously formed a very close relationship that he wasn't aware about. Shush, it's okay. I'm here, Naruto said as he patted Haku on the back to calm him down. Eventually Haku calmed down and the two were sitting on the log again, but this time Haku was sitting closer to Naruto, as to not wanting him to leave their presence again. So, whatever your plans are Naruto-sama, we will be happy to help, Kisame said with a grin. Good, because our next mission will involve both the Yoinkuchi and the Akatsuki, Naruto said while looking directly into Madara's eyes. Both had a large grin on their faces that signaled something big was about to happen to this world. That will be all for this video. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and comment down below for more videos. Goodbye.